Hello YouTube, Pipe Lusitano here, coming to you today with a review. Today we're reviewing a tobacco which is sort of a milestone for me. It was one of the first tobaccos I tried. Literally, I started smoking pipes because work was driving me nuts, and I found myself going to parties in good old Dubai, and next thing I know I'm a bit drunk and smoking other people's cigarettes one after the other. There was one party in which I ended up smoking a complete pack of cigarettes, and well, I kind of sorted out that even though I had no affinity with the tobacco leaf, it kind of calmed me down, slowed me down. But the chemical taste of cigarettes never really did it for me. Hence, one day I just had this crazy idea. I mean, I got that uncle who smokes a pipe. I think everybody has one of those. Went to a tobacco shop, a tobacconist, bought myself a pipe, which I don't have it anymore. I gave it away to a cousin of mine who, in the meantime, started smoking pipes as well, occasionally. Got some Amphora, some, I think it was Burkham Reef vanilla or something of the sort. Anyway, 2 pouches of over-the-counter cheap-ish tobacco. I didn't care too much for the other tobacco that I bought. However, Amphora did it for me, and up to this day it's been part of my rotation. I tried other tobaccos. There's certainly other tobaccos I like the most. I moved away from aromatics a bit. You know, everybody starts with aromatics, but some of us eventually move on to greener pastures, and so did I. However, Amphora is always there. At least twice a week, twice a week I smoke it. People seem to like the room note, except for my wife. My wife prefers me to smoke English blends, go figure. But, you know, as a social tobacco, it's definitely hard to beat. And that's pretty much it. So let's start with a review. There you go. I keep my tobacco usually in a mason jar. I find that it keeps the tobacco in a very good moisture condition for a long time. It smells a bit of vanilla, but mostly of chocolate. Even though it still smells definitely like tobacco, it's not a strong aromatic. It's got Virginia, Burley, Cavendish, and a casing, which is supposed to be cocoa, chocolate, vanilla. It's not wet to the touch at all. It's a broken flake with some ribbon tobacco in it. It's kind of a wild thing. It's very easy to pack. Burns well. Absolutely no complaints. It's easy going for the novice pipe smoker, and I'm gonna smoke it in this beautiful Dunhill Billiard. It is one of my favorite pipes, and it also has a funny story behind it. I saw it on the website. I bought it around a year ago. It looked beautiful on the pictures. Classic, you know, you name it. Has this beautiful easy loading top, which I appreciate very much. However, when I got it, I started looking at it, and there was something wrong with the proportions. It was not straight. I mean, the bowl is definitely not very symmetrical. The shank is not in complete center with the bowl. It's a bit off-centered. In general, I couldn't find one single line in it which was perfect or symmetrical. Um, I was disappointed. I was terribly disappointed. I even tried to sell it. I got to the point where it was in the box, in the post office, already on its way to the buyer. And at the last minute, the buyer told me, "Oh, I can't take it. Sorry." So I just got on the car, went straight to the mail office, and luckily enough, the lady retrieved it for me. Of course, I didn't get my money back, but for the shipping. But hey, could be worse. Um, so having a defective pipe, I just used it as my everyday pipe, the one I could lose or break, or I just didn't care too much for it. It wasn't a particularly good smoker either. I remember putting Amphora Full Aroma in this thing, and it was like sucking a bag of nails. It was terrible. However, and this is the amazing part for me, after a while it became an absolute favorite. It started smoking like a dream. Took quite a while to break in, and I got over the malfunction shape of it, and ended up being probably my favorite pipe. I took it to my wedding. I take it everywhere. I got loads of stories in which this pipe was a part of. There you go. Unperfect, but with a history, and I just can't seem to live without it anymore. So anyway, back to the tobacco. On the dry, it tastes unremarkable. There's nothing special about it. First light. Easy to light up. Like the Russians say, I'm like a hedgehog in the fog. I'll tell that story one day. Out of the straight out of the pouch, it's a bit wet, and if not smoked carefully, it will bite you. And I mean, it will bite you like a tiger. You'll feel like your mouth has been well sandpapered. So false light first. And now we're going. It's easy. Apart from some Dunhill tobaccos, this one is probably the easiest to light up. And you don't need to take much care into packing it properly, because it will just go down to the bowl with a couple of relights at best. First puffs. You can feel some of the aroma. I would say some of the cocoa. But essentially, the good thing about this is it smells great. It has some taste to it. It's definitely an aromatic, but the tobacco always comes through. The casing, the topping never overwhelms the tobacco taste. The sweetness of the Virginias is there. The sweetness of the Cavendish is definitely there. And some nuttiness from the Burleys, I would say. That's how I interpret this thing. Creamy smoke. Doesn't heat up that much. It's just honestly easy tobacco. So we're just finishing this bowl of Amphora Full Aroma, and during the process it does change a bit. Towards the end it's not as sweet and aromatic as in the beginning. Still pleasant. Not a lot of gargling. But then again, I usually tend to leave my tobaccos out of the tin or out of the mason jar for like 5-10 minutes just to dry up a bit. That also seems to make tobaccos in general to taste a bit better. If you leave this tobacco too dry, it will taste like crap. Rehydration is, by my experience, a bit difficult, but you know, possible. The aftertaste is okay, unremarkable. That's the thing in general with this tobacco. It's unassuming, unremarkable, an aromatic that still tastes like tobacco. It's for most things, I would say that's exactly it. It's pleasant, it's neutral, it won't offend anybody, it won't make you bored out of your mind, it won't blow your socks off, it will just be pleasant. It's not something that I smoke when I really want to sit down and enjoy with a nice glass of cognac or something like that. It's something I smoke when I have a break at work or during lunchtime. It's just pleasant. And that's basically the message I have to you about this tobacco. For the price, it's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. Well, especially for me, because I have always somebody passing through Amsterdam's duty-free, and there you can buy 5 50-gram pouches for 6-7 euro. It's an absolute bargain. But even at home or over the counter in most places, it's part of the cheaper range. It's not so much the boutique tobaccos. It's the cheaper stuff, and for the cheaper stuff I definitely think this is a steal. So take my advice, go out, do yourself a favor, get some Amphora Full Aroma, try it. You might like it, you might not like it, but hey, that's it. That's my opinion. Happy smokes, and I'll see you around.